Hello gentlemen, welcome back. In this video we will talk about psychological aspects of porn. You think you know what porn is doing to you. You don't know anything. What I showed you in the first video was just the surface, the industry manipulation, the predatory tactics, the human trafficking. But that was the easy part to swallow. This is where it gets really dark. Because what they're doing to your brain is so much worse than you realize. And they've got the science to back up every single move they make. See, while you thought you were just having a quick stress relief session, teams of neuroscientists were mapping exactly what happens inside your skull when you click play. And what they found should terrify you. Let's start with some basics. Your biology teacher never taught you. Your brain has a reward system that took millions of years to evolve. It's designed to keep you alive and make you want to reproduce with real humans. When you eat food, accomplish something, or have actual sex with a real person, your brain releases dopamine. That's your reward chemical. It feels good, so you want to do it again. Simple survival programming that worked perfectly for thousands of years. Then high-speed internet porn showed up and broke everything. Modern pornography triggers dopamine spikes that are 200 to 400% higher than natural sex. Let that sink in. Your brain is getting flooded with pleasure chemicals at levels that don't exist in nature. It's like comparing a gentle rain to getting hit by a fire hose. And here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't know the difference between pixels on a screen and a real woman. As far as your primitive brain is concerned, you're having sex with hundreds of different partners every time you binge watch. Evolutionarily speaking, you just hit the genetic lottery. Your brain thinks you're the most successful human who ever lived. So it doubles down on making sure you keep doing whatever got you all this success. But your brain isn't stupid. It adapts, and that adaptation is what destroys you. When you flood your system with unnatural levels of dopamine repeatedly, your brain says, "This is too much," and starts shutting down dopamine receptors. It's like turning down the volume when music gets too loud. Scientists can actually measure this. They take brain scans of heavy porn users and compare them to normal guys. The porn users have 20 to 30% fewer dopamine receptors in their reward centers. That means you need more and more stimulation to feel the same high. The vanilla stuff that used to work doesn't cut it anymore. So you escalate. More extreme content, longer sessions, weirder fetishes. This isn't you being a pervert. This is your brain's tolerance system forcing you to seek stronger drugs. And the porn industry knows exactly how this works. They've studied the neuroscience and built their entire business model around tolerance escalation. That's why the categories keep getting more extreme. They know your brain will adapt to whatever you're currently watching, so they have to stay ahead of your tolerance curve. MRI scans of heavy porn users look identical to the brains of cocaine addicts. Same patterns, same brain changes, same addiction pathways lighting up like Christmas trees. The only difference is, cocaine eventually kills you fast. Porn addiction kills you slow. Here's where the science gets really fucked up. The part of your brain that makes decisions, your prefrontal cortex, literally shrinks with chronic porn use. Think about what that means. The part of your brain responsible for self-control, planning ahead, weighing consequences, resisting impulses, and making rational decisions, that part physically gets smaller. Researchers can measure it. They can show you the before and after scans. So while the addiction part of your brain is getting stronger and more demanding, the part that's supposed to say, "Maybe this isn't a good idea," is withering away. It's like having a screaming toddler in your head that keeps getting louder, while the responsible adult voice keeps getting quieter. Eventually, the toddler runs the show. But wait, it gets worse. Your brain doesn't just build tolerance to the dopamine hits. It builds tolerance to actual human connection. Normal things that used to feel good, talking to friends, accomplishing goals, real intimacy, start feeling flat and boring. Your brain has been recalibrated to expect the artificial highs of pornography. Everything else feels like weak sauce. This is called desensitization, and it's not reversible overnight. Some guys take months or even years to feel normal pleasure from normal activities again. Meanwhile, you're walking around in a constant state of low-level depression and anxiety because your brain's reward system is broken. But you don't connect it to the porn because the industry has convinced you that porn is stress relief. It's not stress relief. It's the cause of your stress. Your brain has different types of memory, and porn hijacks the most powerful one, implicit memory. This is the deep, unconscious memory that controls your automatic responses and cravings. Every time you watch porn, you're not just seeing it once. Your brain is taking screenshots and filing them away in long-term storage. These images get burned into your implicit memory system, where they can be triggered instantly, years later without warning. That's why guys who try to quit porn suddenly get hit with vivid flashbacks and cravings out of nowhere. It's not willpower failure. It's your implicit memory system getting triggered and demanding its fix. The industry knows this too. That's why they make their content as visually shocking and memorable as possible. They want to plant images in your brain that you'll never be able to unsee. Humans evolved to be social creatures. We have specific brain circuits designed for pair bonding, reading social cues, and forming intimate connections. Porn use systematically damages these circuits. When you train your brain to get sexual satisfaction from a screen instead of a real person, you're literally rewiring your social brain to prefer isolation. Studies show that heavy porn users have reduced empathy, difficulty reading facial expressions, problems with pair bonding, increased social anxiety, and decreased motivation for real relationships. You're not just watching videos, you're reprogramming your brain to be alone. Your brain has two modes, calm and focused, or fight and flight stress response. Pan viewing triggers a massive stress response in your brain. Elevated cortisol, adrenaline, heart rate spike, blood pressure surge. That's not relaxation. That's your brain going into emergency mode. But your conscious mind interprets the dopamine hit as pleasure. So you think porn is helping you relax, when it's actually putting your nervous system through a hurricane every single time. Chronic stress response leads to anxiety disorders, depression, sleep problems, immune system suppression, digestive issues, and brain fog. Sound familiar? That's not coincidence. That's what chronic porn use does to your stress biology. Every time you go through the cycle of craving, viewing, orgasm, and shame, you're strengthening a specific neural pathway in your brain. It's like walking the same path through the woods over and over until it becomes a permanent trail. The more you repeat this cycle, the more automatic it becomes. Eventually, the craving can trigger the entire sequence without your conscious involvement. You find yourself on porn sites without even deciding to go there. This isn't weak willpower. This is your brain operating on autopilot because you've trained it to run this program thousands of times. And here's what really should piss you off. They know all of this. Every single brain change I just described has been documented in peer-reviewed scientific journals. The porn industry has teams of neuroscientists and psychologists on payroll who understand exactly how to exploit these brain mechanisms. They're not accidentally stumbling onto ways to make their content more addictive. They're deliberately using cutting-edge neuroscience to hijack your brain's reward system, damage your decision-making abilities, destroy your social bonding circuits, and trap you in addiction cycles that benefit them while destroying you. This isn't about morality. This isn't about shame. This is about understanding that you're fighting a battle against an enemy that has weaponized neuroscience against you. They know exactly which buttons to push in your brain. They know exactly how tolerance works. They know exactly how to keep you trapped in cycles that make them rich while making you miserable. Your brain is the battlefield, and they've been studying the terrain for decades while you didn't even know there was a war going on. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel and like the video, as it helps me to aspire to help men going through real struggles in life. In the next video, we'll talk about the physical side effects of porn addiction. Till then, reflect on what porn is doing to you psychologically. Until next time, gentlemen.